afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4. We made it.
Yeah, we made it to the end of the week.
And it was a shortened holiday week besides. Not for you. You work Monday, but
yeah.
Just one of those weeks.
We're here.
We are here, and we're ready to go. And here's what's topping our news today. We're getting our first taste of hot summer weather this weekend, but how long will it last? Meteorologist Austin Kopnitsky has the most accurate forecast.
With the heat comes some cooling centers. Our Amanda Quintana is live in Madison to tell us where to find shelter in this heat wave.
And a spring of reckoning, a public art display full of fresh flowers is growing curiosity in downtown Madison. Let's take a look outside. A little breezy out there today. Boy, it's a hot wind.
Yeah, it really is.
Just plain hot this weekend. Austin's in the backyard. At least he's laughing about it.
Yeah, those are accurate weather words, I would say, right there. It's just going to be plain hot this weekend. Not so much as humid as what it could be, but we're going to continue to see those dew points slowly rising over the next few days. Right now, our relative humidity is actually down to around 25%. So although it's 89 degrees in Madison, our heat index is actually a little bit lower than the current temperatures. It currently feels like it's about 86. Now, our temperatures right now, we're starting to see some 90s returning to the area as well. We're going to see a lot more of these 90s over the weekend. We're not looking at any major cool downs over the weekend. So what we actually have overhead right now, we can expect that to generally continue throughout both Saturday and Sunday. Dew points, however, very low. We will see this changing over the next few days as they slowly work their way up. Right now, we're seeing some communities down into the 30s and 40s for the dew points. So that means that the air is very dry overhead, but we are in need of some moisture with how dry it's actually been. We are still in that moderate drought phase for most of us, and nothing on the Doppler track. That's not helping our case either. We are staying extremely dry here for today. We are staying dry all weekend long as well. Next week is when we actually bring back those rain chances. Temperatures currently, though, again, very warm. We are going to cool things down a little bit later on, but you look at the low temperature for tonight, and it's still only in those upper 60s here for most of us. Mid to upper 60s are expected. Mostly clear skies overhead, and most of the time, whenever we have mostly clear skies, that actually equates to a chillier morning that next morning. But what we're looking at with those wind speeds from the south, that's going to be one of the factors that helps to keep up our temperatures overnight, and that equates to another very hot weekend coming up. I'll have a look at your extended forecast here coming up momentarily.
All right, also we'll see you then. And with that dangerous heat on the way, it's important to know the signs and symptoms of heat stroke and where you can go to cool off.
Our Amanda Quintana is live to show us your options if you're in Madison this weekend. Amanda?
Yes, while some neighboring cities like Middleton open up some dedicated cooling centers, Madison does not. So they suggest you go to one of the 9 public libraries, and those libraries are ready to take on those extra visitors. With the county's public health mandate expiring on Wednesday, the libraries now no longer have limited capacity, and you can stay longer. They also changed some policies to allow people to drink inside, but you still can't eat. Dr. John Aguilar sees heat illnesses pretty frequently in the ER at St. Mary's Hospital. He says getting somewhere cool is the first step when you start to get heat cramps. That is the first sign of heat illness.
As it gets worse, you can have something called heat exhaustion, where you develop more symptoms. Maybe you develop a headache, some nausea or vomiting. This can present in various ways.
He says at the end of the spectrum is heat stroke, when your body can't handle its change in temperature. This can be especially dangerous for young kids and the elderly, but Dr. Aguilar says really it can have a bad effect on anyone at any age. And of course, we are talking about this because it's really hot now. It's going to be really hot this weekend, but it doesn't have to be really hot for you to get heat stroke. It's really about not being hydrated, so it can happen at any temperature. So it's important to know where you can go to cool off, even if it's just under the shade of a tree or in a public building. It's important to have something nearby.
Great information. Amanda Quintana reporting live for us. Thank you. If you're looking to go to a Madison beach to stay cool, you'll need to choose carefully. Algae blooms have forced health officials to close 4 Madison area beaches. That includes Olbrook and Warner Parks and the Hudson Park Lake access point. Algae blooms can make both pets and humans sick, which is why it's important to avoid these beaches right now.
So we've already sort of seeded the lake with phosphorus through runoff through the spring and everything else. And so it's in there. And once the right conditions come around, that's when that cyanobacteria bloom is going to pop.
Fireman's Park in Verona is also listed as closed, but they tell us that's not because of algae. It's just because they haven't opened yet for the season. You can keep an eye on Public Health's website for the latest information. And the best way to keep an eye on the temperatures this weekend is by downloading the News 3 Now weather app. It'll have the latest forecast and any alerts for your specific location, all right in the palm of your hand. It's free to download in your app store.
Newly released jobs numbers show the U.S. economy is bouncing back from the pandemic, but not as fast as many expected. The big part of that is a labor shortage. Natalie Brandt reports from the White House.
At this Los Angeles cafe, the owner added new tables for the growing crowd.
Meatballs ready?
New data shows the U.S. economy is recovering from the pandemic, but slowly.
This is progress, historic progress. Progress that's pulling our economy out of the worst crisis it's been in 100 years.
The Labor Department Friday reported the unemployment rate dropped slightly to 5.8%, with 559,000 new jobs added last month. That's much better than April's dismal 266,000 new jobs number, but still less than analysts had expected.
I wouldn't call this a big miss. You know, we're improving, and if we wind the clock back a year, we are much better off than we were.
The new jobs report shows notable employment gains in the leisure and hospitality sectors as states continue to lift coronavirus restrictions, but many businesses say they are still struggling with a labor shortage.
This manager at an apparel store outside New Orleans says she can't find enough help.
It's not like I'm asking for 50 people. I'm just asking for a few people.
Many businesses have blamed the shortage on expanded $300 a week federal unemployment benefits, but economic experts say there are other factors.
This combination of people being skittish because of the virus for themselves, childcare issues, and these unemployment benefits have combined to make people less likely to be in the labor force at this moment.
More than 24 states have announced they're ending extended federal benefits, a move they hope will lead to more Americans rejoining the workforce. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
The report also showed that wages increased in May for the second straight month. That's a good indicator that companies are trying to attract workers.
Restaurants around the Badger State continue to dig out of the economic devastation delivered by COVID-19. Today, Representative Mark Pocan sat down with State Representative Francesca Hong and other restaurant owners to talk about the Restaurant Revitalization Fund.
Yeah, so we had some restaurant assistance in the American Rescue Plan, and that money went away right away. So we've put a letter out trying to get some more funding for that, and I'm hopeful that we can get that done.
That fund is designed to help restaurants get funding to cover their COVID losses. It's available to food trucks, caterers, bars, bakeries, brewers, and more. As the 2019, almost 10% of all Wisconsin jobs were in food service and restaurants. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is apologizing to Indigenous Canadians after the remains of more than 200 Indigenous children were found last week. The remains were discovered in Kamloops, British Columbia, at what was once Canada's largest residential school for Indigenous children. Some were young as 3 years old. Many from Indigenous communities gathered this week to honor the lives lost.
Sometimes kids would not show up in classroom. They would disappear for the next day, and we knew that they were gone, but we didn't know where they were gone.
The Canadian government paid more than $1.6 billion to survivors of these schools. A 2015 commission recommended 94 calls to action to help the country address its past treatment of Indigenous children. Indigenous communities are calling for other school sites to be also searched for remains.
2 silos were damaged during a fire in Janesville this afternoon. Dispatchers tell us a fire broke out at Humane Manufacturing, a commercial rubber factory on the south side. No injuries have been reported. The library in downtown Madison is blooming with creativity this weekend. Molly Stentz used Wisconsin-grown plants and flowers to create this display. They fill the letters stationed outside the downtown branch on Mifflin Street. The project coincides with the library's recent reopening to the public. Molly hopes visitors will take time to enjoy the arrangement.
I hope they look up from their phone, they stop for a minute, and they smile, and it just brings them a little bit of happiness into their day. It's unexpected, and it's just so joyful. I hope that people stop and appreciate the natural world and the flowers that are all around us, and they enjoy it.
Since real flowers are used, the display will only be up for 24 to 72 hours.
Better head down this weekend.
Check it out.
Yep. Well, it may be hot this weekend, but that should not stop you from getting out and enjoying the fresh air.
We're talking with the Madison Parks Department when we come back about this year's Ride the Drive event and the fun that families can have cycling around town this weekend. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Kopke's Greenhouse is open for the spring season. Shop our expansive facility for veggies, herbs, flowers, succulents, and much more. Kopke's Greenhouse. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay green.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
People were afraid I was contagious. I felt gross.
It was kind of a shock after I started Cosentyx. 4 years clear.
Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentyx. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to, serious allergic reactions may occur. Learn more at Cosentyx.com.
Hey, sandwich fan, new Denny's melts belong in your hand. Patty melt's a classic, the Big Dipper's fantastic, and the Nashville hot chicken, bombastic? 4 melts in all, grilled to please. Now with free delivery. See you at Denny's.com.
Mom's gonna kill us.
Gorilla Super Glues. Of course.
Gorilla has a fix for every project. Original brush and nozzle and ultra-controlled gel for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Ready to blow away the rules of volume? New Air Volume Mega Mascara by L'Oréal Paris. For mega volume, yet mega light. A whipped formula and a cushiony brush. New Air Volume Mega Mascara by L'Oréal Paris. You're worth it.
Our new scented oils give you our best smelling scents, now crafted with more natural ingredients and infused with essential oils that are 100% natural. Give us one plug and connect to nature.
No more Freon for your AC. Oh no, the homeowner's called Action Man and his action team.
Call on Action Plumbing, Heating, and Electric at iwantactionnow.com.
I tried a laxative that's both gentle and fast.
Great tasting Dalgalac Soft Chews works naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes. Puts you comfortably in control. Dalgalac Soft Chews.
Kopke's Greenhouse is open for the spring season. Shop our expansive facility for veggies, herbs, flowers, succulents, and much more. Kopke's Greenhouse. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay green.
Welcome back, everyone. Sea ice in the Arctic Central region may be thinning twice as fast as previously thought. That is the finding of scientists that say some parts of the North Pole could become ice-free in less than 20 years. This could increase the risk of extreme weather and flooding around the world. Researchers from the University College in London used satellite data to calculate snow depth in the region, which raised these concerns.
It's going to expose lots of these areas. They're going to become open water in summer, and all of the sunlight that comes from the sky is just going to get absorbed, and it's going to contribute to a lot of warming, basically. It's going to get hot.
Although the Arctic is thousands of miles away for many, scientists say these changes are already being felt in other parts of the world.
After months of delays from the pandemic, Carnival's largest cruise ship arrived at its new home in Florida. The Mardi Gras sailed into Port Canaveral today as more than 1,000 people stood on shore to watch. The ship has 19 decks and tons of other perks like a roller coaster. Carnival and port officials hope cruise ships will be able to sail again by the end of July. Las Vegas is planning a huge fireworks display in honor of the 4th of July. The fireworks will be set off right over the city's iconic casinos. The celebration also comes with the return of live entertainment. All COVID restrictions in the city were lifted on Tuesday. Stocks rallied on Wall Street after a mixed jobs report points to a gradual recovery. The Dow Industrials added 179 points, ending the week at 34,756. The Nasdaq was up almost 200 points, and the S&P 500 gained 37. Well, a great summertime tradition in Madison is returning this weekend.
With a few modifications this year, Ride the Drive is this Sunday, June 6th at 4 Madison area parks.
Joining us to discuss the event is Eric Knepp, Park Superintendent in the city of Madison. Good afternoon, Eric. Good to see you.
Hi, Eric. Good to see you.
Good afternoon.
We missed last year because of the pandemic. How is this ride going to be different than 2019?
No, the 2019 event was the historically common event that was focused downtown, John Nolan Drive, Law Park, Brittingham, Olin. This year we had planned for we've planned for 4 more neighborhood-centric Ride the Drives. One on the north side at Center and Warner Park, the east side at Kennedy Park, near west side at Winger Park, and on the southwest side at Marlboro Park.
So you won't be able to ride your bike on John Nolan Drive this year.
You should not ride on John Nolan. The bike path will be available, and you can certainly ride the Lake Monona Loop, and I encourage folks to do so. But yeah, the John Nolan will not be closed this year.
So how does this work? People decide what park they want to go to and then ride their bike to the park or take it with a car or whatever they want to do?
Yeah, however you get there, it's obviously a bike-centered and focused event, but we see people strolling with baby strollers. Scooters are very popular nowadays, so it's really kind of this opportunity to gather is what we're seeing it as with neighbors, and we had done this 4-pronged approach in preparation and anticipation for the uncertainty around public health restrictions and gathering limits. Obviously, we don't have any of those right now, so we're excited to see groups gather outside and see their neighbors and kind of enjoy the parks, enjoy a walk, ride, stroll around our community together.
Yeah, it feels like we're getting back to normal to just have it back. So it's not set distances, right? It's just a gathering at one of the parks and taking a ride with your friends and family.
Yeah, we do have routes at all 4 defined routes that will have volunteer monitors at intersections that will, you'll have it will be a feel of a separate opportunity to kind of feel very comfortable biking, strolling, walking, what have you, with friends and family in a manner that's a little different than what you would normally encounter on some of the streets.
And bring plenty of water.
Certainly bring plenty of water. It's going to be a hot one. We've seen hot Ride the Drives before, but this is going to be on the upper end of what we've experienced. So be prepared and wear sunscreen.
At least it's back.
Yeah.
We're making some progress.
Eric, have a great weekend and a successful event. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, this is the highest honor a performer can achieve.
It is the Kennedy Center Honors. They take place this weekend, and we'll have a preview when Live at 4 continues.
Advanced non-small cell lung cancer can change everything, but your first treatment could be a chemo-free combination of 2 immunotherapies that works differently. It could mean a chance to live longer. Opdivo plus Yervoy is for adults newly diagnosed with non-small cell lung cancer that is spread, test positive for PD-L1, and does not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. It is the only FDA-approved combination of 2 immunotherapies. Opdivo plus Yervoy equals a chance for more starry nights, more sparkly days, more sunny mornings. Opdivo and Yervoy can cause your immune system to harm healthy parts of your body during and after treatment. These problems can be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have a cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat, diarrhea, constipation, severe stomach pain, nausea or vomiting, dizziness, fainting, eye problems, extreme tiredness, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, rash, itching, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, joint pain, flushing or fever. These are not all the possible side effects. Problems can occur together and more often when Opdivo is used with Yervoy. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions, including immune or nervous system problems, if you've had or plan to have an organ or stem cell transplant or received chest radiation. Here's to a chance to live longer. Ask your doctor about chemo-free Opdivo plus Yervoy. Thank you to all those in our clinical trials.
Your heart is at the heart of everything you do. And if you have heart failure, there's a medicine specifically made for heart failure, Entresto. It's a heart failure medicine prescribed by most cardiologists. Entresto is proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure, and trust your heart to Entresto.
Who is USAA made for? It's made for this guy, a veteran who honorably served. And it's made for her. She's serving now. We made it for all branches and all ranks, whether they served one tour or made a career of it. We also made USAA for military spouses and their kids. USAA is easy to work with and can save you money on auto, home, and renter's insurance. Become a member today. Call us for a quote. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
USAA! Allergy sufferers, bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. And in a clinical study, after just one day, 90% felt powerful 24-hour relief. So, be wise all, take Zysol at night.
Take a look at this. He does a back tuck, dunks the Oreo mid-backflip, and then lands on 2 feet. As we watch Cy Ross do it again. A little background, when this 27-year-old isn't dunking cookies mid-air, he's a professional football player for the Canadian Football League. But it's not only his athletic ability that allows him to bathe his cookies in milk like this. He says his aunts are also high-level gymnastic coaches. Ross says it took 5 to 10 tries before he landed the trick, so we'll forgive him for throwing away the cookie at the end.
Well done.
That is impressive. That is impressive. All right, this year's Kennedy Center Honors will look a little different due to the pandemic, but the honor remains the same.
It is still the highest tribute a performing artist can receive. Deborah Alfarone takes us inside for a sneak peek.
The 43rd Kennedy Center Honors is stepping out, as in outside, for a reimagined performance due to the pandemic. This year's honorees, choreographer and actress Debbie Allen, singer-songwriter activist Joan Baez, country singing superstar Garth Brooks, world-class violinist Midori, and lovable, now 95-year-old actor Dick Van Dyke.
I keep waiting for somebody to call and say, we made a mistake.
Dancer Derek Huff previously shared a stage with Van Dyke.
We're doing sort of the classic, step ball change, and his knees were easily 2 feet higher than mine were.
Honoree Debbie Allen also gets a high-energy tribute.
This honor is so important because it reflects the need for everyone to have the arts in their lives. This was seismic.
Honoree Joan Baez was an early influence for country folk artist Rhiannon Giddens.
One of her songs was one of the first things I ever played on the banjo.
Another change this year, the president's involvement. In years past, former President Trump didn't attend nor hold a reception. This year, President Biden returned to the tradition.
I got to sit out there in the crowd, stand up, sing along.
Wasn't I the king? Grammy Award winner Kelly Clarkson brought honoree Garth Brooks to tears.
I was performing and there were people in the seats, not on screens.
As we embark on this recovery, we can always bring music into the forefront.
Honoree Midori says the performing arts connect us all. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
And if you'd like to watch it, the Kennedy Center Honors airs this Sunday right here on Channel 3. It will also stream on Paramount+.
Amazing people there, all of them. Speaking of amazing, here's Austin with the weather. It's amazingly hot.
It is amazingly hot. I mean, our average highs should be in the mid-70s, and we are well above that today. We're well above that for this weekend, but how long will that last? That's the question on all of our minds. I do have an answer, and I'll give you those details coming up right after the break.
It's Steinhaffel's
Memorial Day sale. And now is the best time to save big on your new Tempur-Pedic mattress. Queen Adapt mattresses start at only $19.99. Plus, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable base sets and get $300 in Steinhaffel's cash. Make your new mattress more affordable with Steinhaffel's special financing and free delivery. It's the Memorial Day sale, only at Steinhaffel's and steinhaffels.com.
Habitat for Humanity of Dane County continues building and bringing stability to families through homeownership. As area families experience hardships, Habitat provides a pathway to financial security and independence. Strengthen our community. Support Habitat Dane County.
When you're the victim of an accident, it can feel like the weight of the entire world is on your shoulders. Why not let us take that crippling burden off your back? Havish, and Rotier. We fight for what's right.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need. And we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Living longer is possible and proven with Kisqali when taken with a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor in premenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Kisqali is not approved for use with tamoxifen. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Struggling to get fresh air this spring? It's time for new energy-efficient replacement windows from Champion. Right now, every Comfort 365 window style is 40% off.
At Champion, we make buying new windows easy. Unlike some other companies, we control every step of the process. We design, build, install, and guarantee it for life.
Stay comfortable all year long and get 40% off all styles. Call now or download our free buyer's guide at getchampionwindows.com.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
And welcome back. Hot outside, it is sunny. If you're going cloud hunting today or cloud spotting, it's going to be a struggle to actually find some right now with the widespread blue skies that we're really looking at. It looks gorgeous overhead, but then you actually step outdoors, and it is quite up there in terms of our temperatures. We are seeing a lot of upper 80s and low 90s here for today. But a few things of note, sunshine does stick around through this weekend. We're going to see a lot of sunshine on both Saturday and Sunday, and even today, as you've noticed outside, already quite a bit of sun for today. Hot conditions do stick around near or above 90 degrees for the weekend and even the early part of next week, but we are looking at a cool down that follows, and the humidity is also going to kick up, and that does bring some storm chances as well to our extended forecast. Now, we're not going to see storm chances today or tomorrow or Sunday. We are looking at very dry conditions overall. Temperatures right now locally 93 in Janesville, 89 in Madison, Lone Rock right now 91. These temperatures are well above average. We should be reaching the mid-70s, and we are nowhere close to the mid-70s as of right now. We pretty much skipped a season, it seems like, as we have jumped right into summer. But now you look at our relative humidity. Normally this is going to be a little bit higher, but as of right now, we're even seeing some of those teens returning. Janesville and Monroe, both in the teens right now for the relative humidity. It is very low, but we're going to see this continuing to climb over the weekend, especially late in the day on Sunday and pushing towards the beginning of this next week. Now, our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook still has not changed. This is our latest run, and we are still in this area that is expecting warmer than average temperatures. We're also expecting to dry things out in that same time frame. I'll show you more about that in just a moment, but right now take a peek at our high temperature trend. Again, average highs in the mid-70s. We're going to be well above the mid-70s for this entire 10-day forecast. Even after this cool down, a slow cool down, we're only going to fall into those lower 80s. So we're staying warmer than average. Doppler track staying dry, and that's statewide as well. We're really not looking at any activity here locally, which is good news again for us if you want to get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Temperatures tonight only falling into the mid to upper 60s, so it stays warm again. By the time we reach tomorrow in the afternoon hours, you could see those 90s returning once more, but a lot of sunshine overall as well. So we're still going to stick with quite a bit of some overall sun, but then you look at our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. This was originally showing a few days ago greater than average chance to see that rainfall. Now it's showing drier conditions. So again, we need the rain. A lot of us are still in that moderate drought phase right now, and our rain chances that we're looking at, again, at the very end of this forecast, they significantly drop off. What we're looking at right now, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, those are going to be some of our better chances to see some showers and possibility of a thunderstorm as well. Evening planner shows that it's going to stay very warm here this afternoon and evening, cooling down to, again, only 67 degrees. That southwesterly breeze, really one of those factors in why we're actually staying a little bit warmer than average. But then you take a peek at our 7 to 10 day forecast, and it's warm, but we also have those rain chances for this next week. We're looking at Wednesday as probably the best chance to see those showers and storms. And then you can see here Tuesday and Thursday, just that chance of showers, especially late in the day. Afterwards, we dry things right back out, but temperatures do cool right back down. So a little bit of a trade-off right there.
Got about 4 drops of rain at my house this morning.
Last night too.
Yeah,
that was it. That was it.
All right, thank you.
Austin, thank you. Well, food waste in the United States is on the rise, with Americans tossing about 150,000 tons of food every day.
But one country is fighting the problem by making people pay for what they waste. Ian Lee reports.
It's lunchtime in Seoul, and they're serving up quite a spread. South Korean meals typically have free and unlimited side dishes, and when diners don't finish their food, it goes to waste. But instead of chucking the leftovers in the trash, restaurant owners are required by law to separate food waste for recycling. It's the same at home. Residents pay for every pound of food they toss, either in a prepaid bag or at a machine that weighs the waste. In the summer, it smells bad, this garbage man says. It was that stench of rotting food from landfills that mobilized South Koreans to make a change. Activist Kim Mi-hwa says intense protests forced the government to turn a nation of food wasters into food recyclers. 3 decades later, more than 95% of food waste is recycled, becoming compost, biofuel, and at this factory, it's dried and turned into chicken feed. South Korea's system isn't perfect, though. There's still a lot of food waste to recycle, and processing plants are struggling to make a profit as most provide their services for free. But many residents say as long as that smell stays away, they're happy to continue to pay. Ian Lee, CBS News.
And rotting food is a major problem for the environment.
It produces nearly 7% of all greenhouse gases worldwide.
Well, coming up at 5, a local doctor is concerned about the mental health of the LGBTQ community.
Our Jamie Perez tells us why doctors have their worries. She'll have that story coming up tonight at 5.
Here at TSR, we turn old, cracked garage floors like this into beautiful, tough floors like this in just one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings, and we design high-quality, beautiful floors that can stand up to the toughest of applications. Our coatings are easily able to withstand heavy traffic, drop tools, and they're ridiculously easy to clean. We are dedicated to superior customer service, which doesn't just stop after the installation. We also provide you with an exclusive warranty on all of our floor coatings that gives you the peace of mind knowing that your stunning new floor is protected for life. Visit the website or call the number below for your new floor today.
If your dry eye symptoms keep coming back, inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Looks like a great day for achy, burning eyes.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Ha! These drops probably won't touch me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra? No!
It can provide lasting relief.
Oh.
Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid treatment specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye, twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts.
Got any room in your eye?
Talk to an eye doctor about twice daily Xiidra.
I'd prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best-kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Tonight at 5, a hot weekend is in store for southern Wisconsin. What things you can do around the area to stay cool. That's ahead at 5.
Expect a sunny and hot weekend with high temperatures around 90. Humidity levels will start to climb next week, leading to some thunderstorm chances. My first warn forecast at 5.
Then at 6, as we head into the hot weekend, a handful of Madison area beaches and lake access points are currently closed. A reminder from local health experts as we enter these summer months. That's ahead at 6.
Look at it's not steamy, it's not humid yet.
Not yet.
Just hot.
Yeah.
A baking.
The humidity is low, and that makes a big difference.
It does help. Well, tomorrow marks the 40th anniversary of the beginning of the HIV/AIDS epidemic.
More than 34 million people have died around the world since then. And while there have been significant advances, advocates say this is a disease that has no vaccine or cure.
Each year, 37,000 people are diagnosed with HIV, and 1 million people are currently living with HIV in the United States. Michael George introduces us to a researcher and advocate living with HIV for more than 35 years.
For Dr. Perry Halkitis, the fight against AIDS isn't just his life's work. He's been living with HIV for more than 35 years, and he's lost loved ones to the disease, including his former partner and just days ago, a close friend.
My experience just in the last week is so real and so visceral because I thought that part of my life was over. I thought the death of my friends was over, and it's not.
Dr. Halkitis is the dean of the School of Public Health at Rutgers University. He advocates for research and treatment at a time he says the public talks less and less about AIDS. It's been 40 years since the CDC reported the first cases of a mysterious illness among healthy gay men that would later be known as AIDS.
Along with the death sentence, stigma defined what it meant to have HIV or AIDS.
Dr. Ronald Bayer's research at Columbia University focuses on social justice and ethical matters related to AIDS. He authored a paper describing what doctors experienced when no effective treatments were available for 15 years.
I think people tend to forget the sorrow, the difficulty, the suffering that came before that. We have made a remarkable progress. I think it would be a terrible mistake to forget the devotion of the doctors and nurses who cared for these people.
Currently, antiretroviral therapy helps patients live longer, healthier lives while lowering transmission risk. The daily pill known as PrEP prevents those at high risk from getting infected. Still, 37,000 people are diagnosed with HIV each year, and around 1 million are living with HIV in the U.S.
This is a disease that continues to exist, and one for which there is no vaccine, and one for which there is no cure.
Dr. Halkitis says just like with the COVID vaccine, the government, the medical community, and the public need to work together.
What the COVID epidemic has shown us is that there's nothing we can't defeat. We need to end AIDS now.
So no more lives are lost. Michael George, CBS News, Newark, New Jersey.
A new CDC study just released shows new annual HIV infections decreased 73% from the beginning of the AIDS epidemic to now.
Health officials say that's the result of the work of scientists and activists. Hard to believe, 40 years.
Yeah, it is.
Unbelievable. Well, up next, we're going behind the screens with Michael Bruno.
He'll tell us about Music Theater of Madison's latest production and find out how you can check it out at home. That's coming up next when Live at 4 continues.
This last year with no live music has left a true void for fans, for musicians, and venues, just like Funk's Pub right here in Fitchburg. We've done a lot of segments lately on the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, and now there's a new extension of that program, the Crescendo on Wisconsin campaign. Tell us about that, Roy.
Well, it's been a tough year for all Wisconsinites, but specifically the music industry. You know, a year ago, this entire industry shut down, and many of my friends, their revenue went to zero. This fund is designed to help musicians and people in the entertainment business, stagehands, artists, promoters, whoever needs a hand with their energy bills or their rents. They can call the number or click on the link and get help.
So as an artist, how important is it that there's people out there watching out and that have your back as far as the COW campaign?
It's super important. The work that Crescendo in Wisconsin is doing is it's allowing us the opportunity to, I guess, be more selective about what opportunities we take advantage of. We are getting gig offers, but some of them are not necessarily the best or safest opportunities for us, and we don't feel as compelled to have to take those opportunities to keep food on the table or to keep the lights on. So I think what they're doing is really important.
From Funk's Pub in Fitchburg, I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
The ups and downs of frequent mood swings can take you to deep depressive lows, or give you unusually high energy, even when depressed. Overwhelmed by bipolar 1? Ask about Vraylar. Some medicines only treat the lows or highs. Vraylar effectively treats depression, acute manic, and mixed episodes of bipolar 1 in adults. Full spectrum relief for all bipolar 1 symptoms with just one pill once a day. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor about unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may mean a life-threatening reaction, or uncontrollable muscle movements, which may be permanent. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. High cholesterol and weight gain, high blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, may occur. Movement dysfunction, sleepiness, and stomach issues are common side effects. When bipolar 1 overwhelms, Vraylar helps smooth the ups and downs.
Welcome back. Taking a peek at our first warn traffic right now, especially around Sun Prairie. We have heard a report of an accident pretty recently here. The right lane currently blocked due to an accident on Wisconsin 19, Windsor Street eastbound at US 151, and that's going to be around exit 102. Other than that, however, here in the Madison area, we are looking pretty good to go, but just like what we've seen the last few days, we have still seen some slowdowns on the Beltline. We are continuing to see that as well. Haven't heard of any accidents being reported in the Madison area, but we are still seeing those slowdowns, especially on the Beltline. But then you take a peek down in Janesville, lots of green around this area, still quite a bit of some construction, so you may need to slow down in those construction zones. Other than that, however, we are looking pretty good to go. Again, the slowdown on the Beltline and around Sun Prairie, we are looking at a little bit of a slowdown as well.
All right, thanks for the warning. A woman from Ventura, California was reunited with her wallet. This is news, you ask? Well, it is because she lost it 46 years ago.
Oh, wow.
An employee working on remodeling Southern California's historic Majestic Ventura Theater discovered it inside a crawl space. The worker then set out to find out the wallet's owner based on clues in the wallet, including old photos, a 1983 Grateful Dead concert ticket, and a California driver's license for Colleen Diston that expired in 1976. Turns out Diston still lives in Ventura, got wind of the found wallet, and responded responded to a Facebook posting. Diston says she lost the wallet in 1975 when she was in her early 20s. Opening it up, she says, is like opening a time capsule.
Exactly.
That's
it's incredible. Wow.
Hope she canceled the credit card. Well, it's called An American Mythology and presented by the Music Theater of Madison.
It's a collection of music and lyrics by multiple composers from Madison and Milwaukee. And each Friday, a new song drops.
Let's check it out as we go behind the screens with Michael Bruno.
Flames and fire, flames and fire. Don't play with fire or you might get burned.
The idea of doing a concept album that features BIPOC composers and artists, Black, Brown, Indigenous, and people of color, and wanting to feature the voices that we don't often see in musical theater right now. And I thought, of course, that's a brilliant idea. Every single piece on the album is brand new, was written for this project, and is performed by, for the most part, the artists that were writing them. So occasionally we brought in a band or some instrumentalists or some people to play in some instruments if they didn't play them themselves. But for the most part, everybody singing on this album, everybody rapping on this album, or speaking on this album, or performing on this album, those were either produced or written or performed by the people who wrote them.
My mother, she actually was the one who found out about the American Mythology whole thing that was going on with the Madison Theater. And she approached me about it and asked if I wanted to be involved, and I said, of course. And so I started working on the music. I actually made on our song, I made the beat for the song, and we all sang on it. So I just kind of got to work and just really just dove in and just created, you know, what I was feeling at the time. And then we kind of got some instruction from Adam and the team of where they wanted the music to go and how they wanted it to sound and what they were looking for. And so I just kind of took that on and just kind of incorporated that into the production. And what we have now is what you got.
Peace no more, she seeks power. As her land expands and grows, she knows. It was my first time, you know, in a recording studio. My first time just doing a lot of things, and it was good. It was definitely like a lot of learning happening all at once, and I am eager to do it again. But as a live performer, and Adam can attest to this, I was like, is that what my voice sounds like? Is that, and it's going to be on an album forever, and people are going to be able to listen to it all the time instead of, you know, it being one and done, and, you know, it's live theater, and, you know, nobody has to remember it after, or nobody gets to remember it after. So that was a different experience for sure.
I like change, and so I embrace the change as far as I like to be good at both, if you will. So yeah, I'm used to live performing, but now we're in a different setting to where we're recording, stuff is virtual. So it's and then at the time I didn't know how long the pandemic or the quarantine was gonna last, or the social distancing. So I don't know how long it's gonna last, so I might as well get as good as I can at this method of getting out music and releasing stuff. And so I've kind of looked at it like, now that we're kind of getting back into live performance, if we ever do go back to virtual stuff, I have the knowledge for that as well. So
I can't stand virtual. Nah, it's not for me. I cannot wait for live performance and live auditions to return so that I can stop hearing myself. I can't wait.
2020 fires in Minneapolis, 17.
Hey, what's up?
And Michael joins us now. This is an interesting concept.
It is an interesting concept. It's kind of based on concept albums, kind of like what Hadestown happened. And that, eventually and hopefully they'll produce this live on stage, because all these are original works done by people of color in Milwaukee and Madison, and sometimes it's the first time they've ever composed and sung their own songs.
Where can people hear the songs?
If you go to mtmadison.com, go on their website, they have the link to everything. They've been releasing a new song every Friday since May 14th. Featuring these artists, and then you'll be able to see a whole collection of them, I believe, after the last one is done a week from today.
Yeah, the last one drops on the 11th.
Correct.
It's at musictheaterofmadison.bandcamp.com is where you go.
Sorry, yeah.
I looked it up.
Oh, thank you for doing it. It's so generous of you, Mark.
It's I'm amazed at the variety of the music on this.
Mm-hmm. It really is wonderful. Yeah, sometimes you go to see a musical, it's all kind of the same type of music or the same style of music. This really does encompass a lot of different styles of music.
And it's funny.
And local people that have appeared in Madison locally with Music Theater Madison, and because Megan Randolph certainly can find the talent and showcase them. It's really wonderful.
Yeah. Absolutely. Just as they're getting ready to getting this virtual thing down, maybe going back to live performances.
Yeah, hope so.
All right. It's that time of the week. 3, 2, 1, it's
Friday. Stay cool, guys.
You too.
Have a good weekend.
Okay.
And we'll be right back with the final check of your forecast.
Taco night is heartburn you can plan for, but surprise pizza means heartburn you didn't expect. New Zantac 360 Degrees contains the #1 doctor-recommended medicine approved to both prevent and relieve heartburn and works in as little as 15 minutes. New Zantac 360.
Some days, you just don't have it. Not my uncle, though. He's taking Trulicity for his type 2 diabetes, and now he's really on his game.
Once weekly Trulicity lowers your A1C by helping your body release the insulin it's already making. Most people reached an A1C under 7%. Plus, Trulicity can lower your risk of cardiovascular events. It can also help you lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Show your world what's truly inside. Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
You call me devious, but you don't understand that all I am is a little mysterious.
So what do you think?
I love it.
Saturday morning, we are sharing weekend activities that are open for the whole family to enjoy. And Austin will be tracking our weekend weather conditions as we head into a very hot weekend.
When it comes to weather, only one thing really matters: accuracy.
Only one station can be the best.
News 3 Now. First Warn Weather has the most accurate forecast, according to Weather Rate.
Count on First Warn Weather for your most accurate forecast.
Welcome back. One final look here at your 10-day forecast. Lots of sunshine, but lots of heat this weekend. Saturday and Sunday both expected to reach the lower 90s, and it'll be breezy both of those days, but the humidity really picks up Sunday night and especially on Monday there. Temperatures won't get as hot, but it's actually going to feel a little bit warmer because we are seeing that elevated humidity, and then the rain chances return, especially in the middle portion of next week.
We're used to this weather, just not this early.
Right. It does seem early.
Yeah. It's a little bit early, but, you know, hopefully we do see a cool down before it stays like this.
All right, Austin, thank you. Monday here on Live at 4, how bad is the ransomware threat to the U.S.? We'll talk with a UW cyber expert.
And our film critic Will Loper will run down all of the new movies and streaming shows now available.
People were afraid I was contagious. I felt gross.
It was kind of a shock after I started Cosentix. 4 years clear.
Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentix. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to, serious allergic reactions may occur. Learn more at Cosentix.com.
Here at TSR, we turn old, cracked garage floors like this into beautiful, tough floors like this in just one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings, and we design high-quality, beautiful floors that can stand up to the toughest of applications. Our coatings are easily able to withstand heavy traffic, drop tools, and they're ridiculously easy to clean. We are dedicated to superior customer service, which doesn't just stop after the installation. We also provide you with an exclusive warranty on all of our floor coatings that gives you the peace of mind knowing that your stunning new floor is protected for life. Visit the website or call the number below for your new floor today.
For the pets you love, well, you gotta get down to Mounds Pet Food Warehouse, where your Tyler goes to help so many pets in town. Mounds Pet Food Warehouse. We raise money for farm animals in need, and our friends living in the zoo. We feed rescue dogs and shelter cats, and police canines too. Mounds Pet Food Warehouse powers them all. And don't forget your free Mounds candy bar.
We made USAA insurance for members like Martin, an Air Force veteran made of doing what's right, not what's easy. So when a hailstorm hit, USAA reached out before he could even inspect the damage.
That's how you do it right.
USAA insurance is made just the way Martin's family needs it. With hassle-free claims, he got paid before his neighbor even got started. Because doing right by our members, that's what's right. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
USAA. Well, officially, it's still spring, but the dog days of summer are already here.
And we know of two dogs, Louie and Oliver, who don't let a little heat slow them down. Here's this week's edition of the News Hounds.
Here's the News Hounds, Louie and Oliver, with their World News Roundup.
This week on the News Hounds, a talented rhino.
The devil is in the details.
And hat dogs.
But first, you are looking at the world's only captive brown and white panda. Kaizé made its public debut at the newly built science park of the Qinling Panda Breeding Reserve Center in northwest China. Kaizé, literally meaning the seventh cub, was found abandoned by its mother in a nature reserve in November of 2009 and has been kept and raised at the center. According to panda experts, brown pandas could be the result of genetic mutations, and further study is needed on the group.
7 Tasmanian devils have been born in the wild on the Australian mainland for the first time in, get this, more than 3,000 years. Tasmanian devils were wiped out from the mainland after being hunted by dingoes and have been confined to the island state of Tasmania. Devils, the size of a small dog, were made famous by the Looney Tunes cartoon character known as Taz. Conservation group Aussie Ark has been breeding young devils on the mainland in a wildlife sanctuary north of Sydney. They released 26 adults into the wild in late 2020, and those adults are about to have babies of their own, born in the wild.
Talk about hot dogs. Pups at a shelter in Ireland were served ice pops to keep them cool. These popsicles were made by boiling chicken breasts and then freezing the water in ice lolly shapes and using a dental chew for the stick. The handlers say they treated the dogs in their care to keep them cool this weekend, and as you can see by their reactions, they absolutely adored them.
Finally, talk about talent. This is Bandu, a greater one-horned rhino.